Hey everybody, welcome to Dirty Thursday, brought to you by River Cities Speedway, and we've got another full studio today. Darren Evavold, Brad Seng from River Cities Speedway are in the studio, along with the other half of the Bullring Boys, Chad Hoff. And our show also brought to you today by Executive Properties. Are you still putting off that project around the house that's been bugging you forever? Do you think you can wait until spring and call a contractor and have the work done ASAP? Well, good luck with that. Executive Properties has openings right now to get that project done. In fact, you can check out their Google reviews. Aaron says Chris and his team did a spectacular job on the damage to my aunt's garage and siding. Kept us up to date on the progress, and the finished product was amazing. Thank you for your professionalism and hard work. Hey, get that project done sooner than later. Call Executive Properties, 701-330-1273. And Executive Properties is now taking reservations for snow removal. Give them a call, 701-330-1273. Speaking of phone numbers, any questions or comments? Al, Jared, Nick, good morning. Everybody's already posting taps or a 21-gun salute today. Maybe something like that. Anyway, feel free to text or call 701-213-0863, 701-213-0863. And before we get going, let's get it done with. We got a lot of stuff to do. Here we go. Jokes my neighbor tells me. Jokes my neighbor tells me. You know Bon Jovi must be at least 3/4 of the way there by now. You're
living on a prayer.
Do you see that look? He looked at me. He's like,
what?
Who's your neighbor?
Darren wants input.
Must be 3/4 of the way there by now. Before we get going, I've got to show you this, and it's going to be a round of applause.
Oh, yeah. Don't put your arms above your shoulders.
No,
yeah.
no.
Yeah, that's about it. You're going to show your belly button.
This baby gets you going.
That's cool.
Wow. How about that for vintage stuff? That's pretty cool. And thank you. Well, actually, let's hear the story behind this shirt.
Oh, the story behind the shirt.
Yes.
My father-in-law, Dale Ovnan, huge race fan.
Yes, medium. Great guy.
Passed away August 25th on a Sunday. Never made it to the track this year. Unfortunate, just like a bunch of race enthusiasts and racers and whatnot that had passed away. My daughter, Sophie, was rifling through Grandpa Dale's race shirts, and she must be a Brad Seng fan, it looks like.
Yeah, how about that?
That's on the loan for the program.
Yep.
She said, I better get it back.
Get it back.
Thanks, Sophie. Might don't ever watch it again, though, right?
Yeah.
So you even realize that these shirts were? Did you even remember this shirt?
No, I mean, like we checked the date when I came in. It was 2009.
Yeah, 2009. Jeez.
Wow.
That's 15-year-old shirt. That's something.
That shirt was good looking for back in the day.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah.
The flames off in the side or whatever the hell the graphic is on that thing.
Yeah, it makes my body look a little better, too.
I don't know about that. I mean,
sucking in my gut like I'm wearing Under Armour here.
yeah.
Before we get rolling here, let's do a little quick report. Forks Karting Association wrapping things up this past weekend, Dale.
Yeah, well, last weekend it was a FKA Fall Shootout doubleheader. Tremendous way to wrap up the season. 2 full shows. Saw Forks Karting's first ever qualifying sessions. Some drivers testing out or previewing new classes for next year, like Chance Berger with Rookie Gas, Nash Blasky with Junior 1, Blaine Barnes with Junior 2, and I want to give a big congrats to newcomers to Victory Lane like Talon Kowalski, Madeline Krangstead. They locked in their first ever career wins. The full results are on ForksKartingAssociation.com. Their annual banquet for all those who RSVP'd is this Saturday at 3 p.m. and full details are now up on the Forks Karting Facebook page. And John, well, you made your big return to Forks Karting Speedway last week. How did you enjoy it all?
I had an absolute blast. I'm glad that they asked me to come back. It was a long day. It was a hot, warm day. And kind of cramped, but man, I had fun. I had a good time. I wish I could have stayed longer. I never did get to Hot Lap Withie's cart. I was going to, but I had some stuff going on at home. So there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dale. Thank you. And by the way, Forks Karting Association track schedule, we've got one. River Cities Speedway tomorrow night, and it's an all sprint car night finale.
Yes.
So we're going to have 4 different classes of sprint cars. We'll have the NOSA Buffalo Wild Wings Outlaw Sprints. We'll have the 305 Sprints. We'll have the Wingless Sprints and the Minn Kota Lightning Sprints, all there, and school buses. So the bus races. And now, tickets from last week, what was the story there again?
Bring your ticket stub. Racers, bring your wristbands.
Okay, and you'll get back in tomorrow night.
Yep.
How about that? I know people
That's
are already.
awesome.
Yeah, that is. People were asking about that on social media this morning. By the way, our track schedule brought to you by Forks Karting Association. You can find out more by visiting forkskartingassociation.com. But again, except for a couple of big shows, we got the shootout going on, and maybe you're going to go to Wisconsin. I'm not sure, but what else is going on out there? There's a few things going on.
Yeah, it's either we're going to go to Jamestown or we're going to go to Punky Manor in Menominee, Wisconsin. Watertown's got a doubleheader. So as the racing is winding down at River Cities Speedway, they race right into the middle. The body cars race right in the middle of October 11th. And just to touch on this weekend, at the beginning of the year, Darren and I and Bill and Linus sat down, and everyone always would ask, like, why don't you race later in the year? They're always nice weekends. And first and foremost, I think the four of us are smart enough to realize you're not going to compete with high school sports.
No, well, yeah. A lot of people tend to forget about that.
Yeah, in the harvest, and people are gearing up for the beets
and beans and.
We quietly went into uncharted territory, so I've got to believe, Darren, in your tenature at River City Speedway, is this the first week after this, or 2 weeks after the sites that we raced?
Yeah. Based on how the calendar turns, the Sites Memorial was earlier in September.
Yeah.
Based on what weather has been the last couple of years, right? That was one of the factors we looked at. And looks like Mother Nature is going to cooperate, and we're going to get to start and finish the bus races, which everybody loves. So all sprint car show, like you alluded to, John. Looking forward to it. The season finale.
Yeah. I just hate those two words. And it was funny because you were up in the booth with me last Friday, and the school buses were out there, and you didn't know. Did you know it was raining?
No, remember I turned and said, where did that shine come from?
Yeah, you can't tell it's raining up there. And then we could hear it. I heard it through Jeremy's headset saying, "Get the buses off, it's too wet." And I'm like, how can it be too wet for the buses to be on the racetrack? And there's one little spot you can look up in the booth and see across the track where the lights are, and that's how you can tell it's raining. And it was coming down pretty damn good too.
So when we got out there, I was in the front row of the first heat race on the bus, and got out there, and it started. You could feel a sprinkle a little bit, but then we came around to take the green flag when they were waving it, and all of a sudden it just poured.
Yeah.
And you go into corner one, and I couldn't even turn. And I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna hit this other bus." So you slam on the brakes. Then I think it was Chris behind me. We couldn't turn. There was no turning. And so we did like one lap, and then all of a sudden I saw Withy grab the checkered flag, and they lined us up again 2 by 2 or whatever. And I just creeched ahead a little bit, so I won the first heat race there.
Oh, there you go.
I got the checkered flag the first time.
People didn't get their money's worth though, trying to get the ambulance out of there.
That's always the hit every time. And I'm down in the middle or whatever, and we're like, let's see if we can get them going.
Yeah.
And we get all the fans are just geared up, and then they get over there. It's a big old cheer. That's pretty good. That and the fire truck are those. Those are the two vehicles that are always kind of fun to watch get off the speedway there.
Oh man, I want to talk first before we get rolling here too much about this past year, River Cities Speedway. I mean, it definitely was a great year in my opinion. I was really worried about how some of the bigger shows were gonna be handled because of what happened with the jail, losing a lot of our, the land. I mean, I was driving around in the pits in a golf cart during the sites, and you could barely get through the pits in a golf cart. But otherwise, if we go through the schedule, I want to start from the beginning from our big shows. The first World of Outlaw show this year again, another great show.
Yeah, you know what I enjoy? I believe SLS, Scott and the boys enjoy coming up here, and I've got to believe that when the other sprint car series started up, that some of the naysayers of sprint car world now appreciate what we have for them, and it's getting to be more and more prevalent for these sprint car guys that just they love coming here now.
Yeah, absolutely. First, Darren, and I want to ask you about this one with the fair. For one thing, I think we got all 3 days in this year. at the fair, which is very, very rare. That doesn't happen very often. But for the first time, we had Baja races here. I thought that was great fun. I think the fans thoroughly enjoyed it. It didn't. It's not like you have to go and completely revamp the River Cities Speedway. It wasn't not a whole lot of work. But your thoughts on the Baja and the fair this year? I thought they went great.
Well, it usually doesn't happen where you get the grandstand event in.
Right.
And I think prior to that, it was probably 4 or 5 years ago where the fair was able to get all their grandstand event in. You know, you sit around and you visit with the fair board as to what should you do each and every year. It's been wheeled events. Those Baja races are successful at other fairs, and so I know Bill Kasager, kind of took the bull by the horns a little bit and got someone who's been Baja racing to come and help the fair board, and then the River Cities guys came on board and built the track and did their thing. And I think for the fair board's purposes, I think the Baja has a chance to grow and be a signature event for them.
Yeah, because, it's growing everywhere. We've been getting messages today about a Baja coming up in Goodrich in October that they want us to be involved with. But I think the Baja is getting so big, especially the smaller towns. I think it's going to be a hit. Hopefully, we'll be able to get them back again this year.
I think that you really think about the cost per the vehicle. It's pretty inexpensive to get a Baja vehicle ready to go. I think they still have to have a roll cage, I'm pretty sure. But other than that, it's a standard motor. There's nothing crazy about it. There's a stock and whatever class. So, yeah, I think it's a pretty inexpensive way to get your race fix in if you want, And
they're building tracks that don't have moguls or mud holes. It's just kind of a course with some chicanes and tires and and bang. And so those guys can race more than once or twice, right?
Yeah, it's like deer hunting roads.
So.
There you go.
Funny how you say you don't do much of the racetrack, and you just learn, like, this is our first time doing it, and we've now just learned you don't put a corner near a light pole because they managed to knock the light pole down.
I just want a couple of texts here. Let's see. Best wishes, Chad, from Steve.
Thanks, guys.
Brennan currently working on Shuart's YouTube video, and he talks super highly of River Cities. We got NLSA Crowns of Champion tomorrow, River Cities Speedway. Dexter Dvergstein and Matthew Taves only 4 points away. Jody Borgen-Danner, we still got a $25 gift card from Buffalo Wild Wings here for you. When the hell are you going to get up here? Kaylee Elizabeth, when River City is Kenna's favorite track. We had a ton of fun there this year. Genuinely curious what is the reasoning for the classes to line up where they do versus down at the end where the sprint cars go on. I raced Baja for 3 years. I'm hanging it up, John. Heather, on behalf of all of us at Devil's Lake Speedway, we wish you well, Chad, and we'll miss you greatly. We'll try to visit when we come out that way. I guess
Thanks,
I
Heather.
don't know what it's
The lineup thing, that's a great question. So that's what she's wondering is why the mods and are lined up on that entrance of
Simple.
coming off. So that's what she's asking.
Simple. All the bodied cars are generally parked on the east end.
Yep.
There's an entrance there. For the most part, the late models and the sprint cars are parked on the west end.
Yep.
There's an entrance there. So why do we want all the cars driving past an entrance? It's just more traffic.
Right.
Sure, and especially when you're push starting cars and things like that.
Right.
I think the biggest complaint would have been at the sites because it was so jam packed in there, and you were back there too, watching cars weigh in and try to come around and get through, and it was directing traffic for sure sometimes.
Yeah,
So,
and again, that's a testament of all the cars that want to support the John Seitz
yes,
Memorial.
100%.
Right.
You know, so in a nutshell, it's congested on the first heat of B mods and the last heat of street cars.
Yep.
Because then every heat race for the B mods
Comes
goes to
in.
the middle.
That's right. Yep.
So then there's no congestion back there.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. It's a little bit of a zoo for
15
20
minutes.
20 minutes. Yeah, I was gonna say to get them in, and other than that, it's ready to go.
Okay. My phone's just going crazy here. We talked about when we lost Medium, and we've lost a lot of people in the last year or so here at River City Speedway. But Jeff Liebrick, we know, passed away, and
Yes.
that's let's not forget his auction is on Sunday. You can find out more. Go to MidwestAuctions.com/Schuster. And find out more. Boy, Jeffy, I'm sure he's got a bunch of great stuff there. I know you don't have a whole lot of time, but I want to go to you next again. World of Outlaw. I'm going to try to go through the big shows here.
Yes.
The late model show, They come into town. They do a great job. They're in and out. They're fun to work with. Another great show.
Yeah, I mean, and every year we think it's going to grow more and more on the spectator side of it, and we really haven't seen it yet. But
Yeah.
we're by no means are they going anywhere. We just like to see that event get as big as the sprint cars.
Absolutely. Might want to let him in. Oh, is he coming in? You want to let him in? Buffalo Wild Wings, King of the Wings, 619 and 620, the NOSA sprints versus the IRA sprints. I think it's a brilliant idea. I'm just going to throw this out there, and I'm probably going to catch hell for it. Those guys are a pretty big act, the IRA. They come here. They've got all their own stuff, their own announcers, everything like that, and we kick their butts. In a nutshell, I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna say it. We kicked, maybe not last year, but we kicked their butts this year.
Right.
Your thoughts on that?
Well, what I think is you got home ground guys here that race this track every Friday. They kind of know how it's going to change, what it's going to be like. But these guys are kind of like they tour everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to them.
As do the Outlaws.
As does the Outlaws. No disrespect to them. I mean, but they're coming into where, you know, when we have Mark Dobmeyer, Austin Pierce, you have Brandon Mullen, you know, Jade Hastings, just Jack Croker, all these guys. Nick Omdahl had an amazing year this year for sprint cars. So those guys are generally going to be here and probably dominate most of that. And they dominated that whole weekend, really. Started at Norman County Raceway. So I think it's an awesome kind of a competition thing.
Too.
I really thank Buffalo Wild Wings for doing it because, man, to bring those guys here, it's another whole, like, atmosphere thing that changes 100%. And then people come experience this place. I mean, it's second to none. So
You know what? Again, thank you to Todd at Buffalo Wild Wings for everything that he does, and Mark is a good proponent to, you know, they're a good combination, but love the concept. Again, on River City side, we need to get the fans out of there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And and you know, one thing, when you throw Todd LaHaye and the LaHaye family and Dob Meyer and the Buffalo Wild Wings, I just wanted to throw this out there. He had the two-seater out Friday night. He was in the 10-second range.
Yeah.
With a guest, with somebody in the back seat. He was whipping around under 11 seconds.
Yeah.
Man, that is fast as
not good for me. No. Too much speed.
We had Hall of Fame night. The World of Outlaw Sprints were back August 23rd. Another great show. And then the John Seiss Memorial, and I get where you're coming from there. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I mean, you look back at the pits on Wednesday afternoon, that place was already packed.
Well,
I mean, and you talk about 3 days of great fun. The weather held with us. It was nice. I got to take Zach Seitz out fishing, and we hammered him. But again, another 3-day awesome show.
Yeah, and then you have the frontal side where Darren's impacted. You know, he's got to run around like a chicken with head cut off too, get all the stuff signed up. Brad's in back, running around trying to make sure everybody's parked right. And then, oh my gosh. So I can't imagine. It's a 3-day grind, 100%. 3-day grind for you two, for sure.
I never realized I was a parking Nazi. Oh my God! You wanna piss somebody off? Get him in the wrong spot.
You and Billy were the parking Nazis?
Yeah, and the tick.
A tick. Yeah, I can't forget about the tick. The tick.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's pretty crazy.
We had a good. I mean, again, I don't know. I'm not you guys. I'm just the announcer. And we all, whether it be track ownership, Chad, myself, we all do the best we can to mingle with the crowd and talk with the crowd, and we're getting great vibes off of the crowd, and I'm hoping you guys did too. But you know, if you were to give the track a grade this year, what would you give it?
You know what? Before we move on to that, though,
okay,
I would like to reach out to the North Dakota Mail for stepping up.
Absolutely.
When we reached out to them because of some brick building that's right outside our pit gate.
I'll say it for you, the jail.
The jail, yeah. It is looking good though.
Oh, yeah, okay. That makes a difference if you're visiting there, right?
We reached out to the North Dakota Mail, and you know, they were so gracious. They have race fans over there too, and we asked if we could use their lot north of River Cities Speedway there, and it was less than 10 hours, and they had stuff moved out of there, and Keith and Tommy and Gary with the fair board in River City Speedway had it all mowed up and groomed. And again, there's always a story with a great story. There's always that story, and we managed to take down the Valley Ho sign with a race car.
So we got Brad's gonna put a sign up there for him.
Oh, gee.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
That'll be instrumental for the fair too, right? Because last year during the
Yeah.
fair, all the carnies were on that little peninsula piece, right? And they were stuffed in there like cords of wood. So I think it's a win-win, and it was great that Brad reached out to him, and
yeah,
thanks.
the mill.
Kudos to the mill.
They
Yeah.
were.
Awesome.
They were 100% on our side. I mean, they were like, "What do we need to do?"
You know,
No, I agree.
And Rydell Carr has been fun to watch. Great year racing. Keep up the good work, you guys. Rumor has it there may be a new rookie tomorrow night, and we're going to talk about that after he leaves. We might have Steven jump in here. Ryan Flayton really bumped up the Hall of Fame night. Thanks to everyone involved. That's from Kevin Pappenfuss. Yes, he did.
He went.
What?
He went second to none on the Hall of Fame. I mean, he takes that thing and runs to
he
a
sure
different
does.
level.
Yeah.
He does, because he makes me sound like I know what the hell I'm talking about, for one thing. He's so good at it, and these guys deserve to get the credit, or to get all the accolades and all that stuff that he digs up for them.
No,
he
for
does
sure.
a fantastic job.
And I
Yeah.
think you look at a guy like me, okay? I'm not from around these areas. I don't know the Hall of Fame as well as I probably should have known. But those bios he writes,
They're top notch.
it's like gives you the whole history of it. So
Yeah.
like when you're done reading that bio or listening to that bio, it's you know the guy.
It's sad to say, but River Cities Speedway might get credit for it, but it's 100% Ryan Flatten.
Yeah, he does a
Awesome.
great job. You gonna throw a grade out there for the year? What would you say?
Oh,
I mean, granted, now people, you got to remember, you cannot beat Mother Nature. We talked about this Friday night at the track. It's just something you can't. It's like, well, it already quit raining. Okay, figure if it quits raining and you get a little bit of a rain, it's going to take a minimum of an hour minimum to get the track racing again. So yeah, you want to go back racing at 11 o'clock at night? I don't think so. But
Right.
what would you say?
I would say a B. I mean, just River City Speedway and the Bull Ring gets a C already.
Already, just for being there,
Right.
Yeah.
And are there things that we need to brush up on that we think we have it all figured out? No, we don't. So I mean, to me, with the concessions and the people that we have employed with us, and our track prep and the cars that we get to race with us on Friday night, I'd give it a solid B.
Okay, and I want to get this out there before I forget. When you talk about the people, employees, they're awesome. I love working with River City Speedway employees. Scott Iverson's getting married
Yeah.
this Saturday. Scott and Diane finally going to tie the knot at River City Speedway. I can't wait. Darren, what would you think about the year? One thing I've noticed over the years with you, you don't get as much time to watch and enjoy. You're running around a lot, like Brad said, but what would you think of the year? Because it's so hard for me, because I always think everything's great,
Yeah, you try to always meet the needs of the racers, the sponsors, and the race fans, right? Because they're the ones helping put on the program and paying the bills. And at the end of the day, we loaded up the schedule with a bunch of NOSA shows, kind of responded to what we were hearing from the race fans and whatnot. There was a few programs there. I think it started with the Saturday show of the King of the Wings, and then subsequently, like the next 2 or 3 Fridays, the heat index was darn near 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, we hit our stride early in the season, and then Mother Nature again, and it's usually rain, right?
Yeah.
Because I think tomorrow will be our 22nd or 23rd program. Guy like Steve knows all that.
22nd.
22nd, right? And so that's a good run, right? We've been pretty darn busy, and so I would agree with Brad.
That's a new record?
Because why are we're always looking to get better, right?
Yeah.
And if it wouldn't be for everybody that's involved, we couldn't do this, right? We're stupid passionate because of what we do.
Yeah, isn't that
When you run
a good way of putting
2
it?
premier classes, in most cases, that's a tough nut to crack on occasion.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
So, but that's the passion, and that's the passion of people in and around the area. We'll be looking at some of these, special events and how we can
Sure,
grow
tweak a little
those
and-
with maybe ticket deals or whatnot, just to move the needle on
Sure.
some of those programs.
It's funny when you say stupid passionate, people ask me if I've got retirement, when I do eventually retire. And the first thing I always say is, I'm going to be in Grand Forks for racing and fishing.
Yeah.
That's top and first on my list. It doesn't matter. I mean, as long as they'll let me, I'll still be doing this stuff when I'm 80 years old. But I'm always going to be back here for racing and fishing. And then after that, I'll go and do what I want to do. But that's just something that you can't just shake out of your blood. I don't know.
Well, and for the racetrack to put on those 2 premier classes, and you got to
Yeah.
understand something as a race fan, and some people do understand, some people don't understand it. Those 2 premier classes take 2 totally separate tracks.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing. Like then you wonder why we run one wind time and one the other time, because we want to make sure the racing surface is good for everyone, and those 2 cars are different, and one's going to be totally 100% different than the other. And people need to start, if you like seeing this kind of racing, which we all love this racing, you kind of want to say, hey, understand, race fans, that these 2 cars are not identical and they're not the same. And so it's pretty cool for the River Cities Speedway to put it on shows like we have. 22 shows this year, a record
how about
year
that?
this year for River Cities Speedway. And to do it with what we have and the group of people we have is outstanding. So
it's amazing. You watch Wimbledon on TV. You got ball boys here at the studios of Grand Forks Best Source.
Yeah, we got beer boys.
We have a beer boy. Ducks and runs behind the camera. Ducks and runs behind the camera.
He asked her what I got. He was like, hey, do you want a pop? I'm like, yeah, you betcha. So it's like, I can get it. No, I'll get it. Like, Dale's all over the place.
So here's a little crazy tidbit for everybody before I let Steven jump in my chair because I got to get going. So this was our 26th year. And I know Steve and you and Ryan talked about, are we at, after tomorrow night, are we at like 492 or 90, what?
493. Oh, I think I know where this is leading up to.
493, right? So 26 years River City Speedway, 493 after tomorrow, right?
493 shows.
So next year, in some way, shape, or form, it's going to be the 500th race program at River City Speedway.
Could that be the World of Outlaw night?
Oh, boy. It's kind of funny how it worked out with the 200 Dirty Thursday show with the 5. Wow.
5-0.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking, man. No, that tells you something right there.
Holy crap.
Man. We're going to take a break.
Crazy.
I know Mr. Evavold has to get going. I got to go do a quick wardrobe change because his...
Before we go...
Yep.
Chad Hoff, love ya. Thanks for your help.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Gonna miss that half. Got to figure that out. I'm hoping he comes east sometimes to jump on the mic.
I heard he was working on his pilot's license.
Yeah. Well, there you
Well,
go.
I've got one.
Yeah, 500 show might be a tough one to miss, but I want to thank you because you're the one that got me this gig. So thank you, Darren, for everything. And man, it has been an awesome ride to tell you.
All right. Well, you hold on to that now, all right?
I've got to hold on. Yeah, let's keep on rolling. Yeah,
thank you, man.
buddy.
We'll see you tomorrow. Hold on one second. We'll get your shirt back. We're going to be back with some more Dirty Thursday right after this. You hear politicians making promises all the time. Where are those politicians when those promises are not kept? If you want promises made and promises kept, vote Meyer, Christensen, and Vetter for District 18 this November. They'll fight to keep taxes low and affordable. They'll fight to protect and expand property rights for homeowners. They'll fight for property tax reform. They'll fight for Grand Forks. Meyer, Christensen, and Vetter. Check out their past records in Bismarck. It's a no-brainer. North Dakota work ethic with Grand Forks values. This November 5th, vote Meyer, Christensen, and Vetter. Promises made, promises kept. Paid for by District 18 Republicans, Tammy Barth, Treasurer. Life doesn't ever seem to slow down. Everything needs to be done right now. Well, when it comes time for an oil change, stop into Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Most changes are done in about 15 minutes. Valvoline Instant Oil Change does more too. Tranny and coolant flushes, tire rotations, and batteries. And included in your oil change, they're going to top off your fluids, check your tires, battery, lights, wipers, and cabin air filter too. And you get discounts for fleets and the military. They can text and email invoices and coupons and mention Grand Forks Best Source and get $10 off your oil change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. They're open Monday through Saturday with no appointment needed. pickup and delivery is also available if you live in Grand Forks. And Valvoline Instant Oil Change is now hiring. If you'd like to join their team as an assistant manager, customer service rep, or lube tech, stop in to find out more. Valvoline Instant Oil Change for a complete oil change and more. They're at 3325 South 38th Street, or call them 701-780-8462. And make sure you tell them Grand Forks Best Source sent you. And we are back on a Dirty Thursday, brought to you by River Cities Speedway. Thank you very much. Thank you for the shirt, the old 2009 vintage Brad Seng shirt. Thank you to Darren and Sophie for bringing that. I got the Dirty Thursday shirt back on now. Welcome to the studio. Stephen Lewis is back.
I crashed the show. I had to. I'm sorry.
Hey, that's all right. I like that. I saw you walk up, and I'm like, oh, perfect. Steven's here. We don't have our on-air light on either.
Yeah.
And okay, here's the deal now. We got somebody had texted in a little bit earlier saying there might be a new rookie out tomorrow night at River City Speedway. Do you know anything about that?
No.
Okay.
No. Do you, Brad? Do you know? Do you know at all? Or
I heard there's going to be a new.
there might be someone in a non-wing tomorrow that I don't know about.
Okay.
I heard something earlier.
I have this vision in my head. Here's the vision I have. Back when I was like junior high and high school playing hockey.
Yeah.
People call them mullets now, but we called it Canadian. And the whole thing was the hair flowing out of the back of the helmet. First thing that came to my mind is I want to see some hair fly off the back of that helmet.
His dad used to have hair that flew out the back of the helmet.
Now, you hot-lapped your dad's car, and apparently
Well, no.
Corey
was it?
Palms.
Okay.
I ran Corey Palm's car.
Okay.
2 weeks ago.
And you are, what are you going to do tomorrow night?
He's going to take pictures, John.
Okay.
I'm gonna be down for his farewell down in the infield.
Okay.
I might as well
Victory
just say
Lane,
it.
right?
Okay, because Corey Palm's saying, do I need to bring my car over, Steven?
No, you're good now,
Okay.
Corey. You're good.
You got him hooked now, Corey, I think, is the problem.
You did it once. I might as well just go ahead and say it. I'm gonna run Renegade tomorrow in Kim's car.
Oh, boy.
So
How cool.
yeah.
Now I'm nervous.
Yeah.
So am I. So
What do you think when you get in there? I mean, were you in the mechanics race? So you actually did
Yep.
race a little bit.
Yep.
Are you comfortable enough? You're just gonna frickin' go or what?
well, I went out to the shop last night and I apologize for my voice.
I was gonna ask you what's wrong with your voice.
My voice has been gone for
Okay.
3 weeks, but
Screaming that he's racing tomorrow.
River Cities is so exciting, you lose your voice, right? So, but no. So I think 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago now, I tried Corey's car, and I was just minding my own business, and I was at the pit meeting, and Steve Nordrum came up, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to try one?" And I was like, "Okay, let me call the bank quick if I, collapse your front end.
Yeah.
Like, how much does a front end cost or whatever?" So I did the 5 laps and that and whatever, and it went well. And those of you that know me, I've gotten to know my dad again this summer, and he called me up on Monday. I was just again minding my own business, not asking for a car or whatever, just editing photos.
What time did he call you?
Noon.
Okay. I'm just wondering if you would have been up or not.
12:30. No, I was up.
Okay.
I was working.
Oh, I was gonna say otherwise he's probably
But-
still up from the night before.
Right. But no, I just he called on the phone there, and I kind of just I let it go to a message or whatever, and then I called him back about 15 minutes later, and he was like, "Hey, what's going on?" or whatever, and he was kind of coy a little bit, and I was like, "Is everything good?" And he was like, "Yeah, but I want to ask you something. Do you want to try this?" And I was like, "Well, I might as well, right?" So I was out at the shop last night and sat in the car, and it felt good. And I got Sean and I've got Sean Enright's all of his safety equipment out in the car.
Yeah.
So I'm going out to the shop again tonight to get everything, 100%. but
Brad 100%. On the nose.
Alert.
So what happens? Say you win. Are we going to be seeing Stephen Lewis in a wingless car all next year or what? I mean, what happens if you kick some butt?
I'm literally just taking it one lap at a time at this point. You know, I've been lucky enough to, been given a camera by Mike Speaker for 5, 6, 7 years. And now I'm being given a race car. Like, I've been given everything. Like, I'm literally just taking it one lap at a time, whether I'm behind the camera or in the race car or whatever. Like,
You're awfully giddy. The pucker factor, the excitement factor here, you can see it's getting more and more and more.
Yeah.
Can we do a back and forth quick? Pucker factor.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
So,
But you sound like you're pretty stoked.
I am.
Are you nervous or you just say, no, let's just go do it?
I was at the shop with him last night for about 2.5 hours, and when it was fine when I was there, but when I pulled out, like, my right arm started doing this, and I was like, why? I've done it before, like, but I've been nervous and anxious ever since. So.
Sure.
Well, let's go, Brad. How does it feel when you look at these new generation of race car drivers coming up? When you've been around this racetrack forever, and now you see their dads, and like you got Brad Seng and Brian Seng, or not Seng, Dustin Strand, Brian Strand. The guys switch over and stuff, and now you got you and John, and now you got Kim and Steve. Like, how cool is that to see just not always a race car driver, but as a fan?
Yeah, I mean, and that's what we need. You know, the second part of that is we also need the fans.
Right.
So that's the new gimmick is the fans. But as far as seeing new blood come in, I'll give more props to Steven if he can do this one time and walk away. I mean, it is. I rank it right up there with one of the most addicting things in life.
Oh, I know. That's right. I just want to say, excuse me if one or two of these texts disappear. We don't need the one on there. And thank you very much, Dale, for taking that one off of there.
John, I just want to say, Steven ran a hell of a race. I got to call Steven's debut this year. He got the win. Be on the lookout for him Friday night. And if you want, I think we got some exclusive footage from Steven's debut.
Oh, you want to throw it up there quick? About the church on the show. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's the actual video even.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
You're not supposed to get out the top, Steven.
Some of them you do, though.
Was that the hot lap session?
Yep, that was the mechanics
Arms in
race,
the air.
for sure.
Arms in the air.
How do I get down?
Yeah.
The guy, it was a 5-lap race, and I followed him for 4.5 laps, and I washed up on that last lap, and I caught it quick, and he opened up the bottom coming off of 4, and I was like,
he's already talking like a race car driver.
let's do it.
He's already talking like a driver.
Already talking
Brad's
about
over there just smiling. He's like, oh, he's hooked.
Have you ever got to hot lap a sprint car? Have you ever done any laps in a sprint car?
Yeah, so Wayne was my uncle and owned.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sonny Mac and Wayne Nygaard's car and stuff. So one time I got into Wade's car, and Wade come over and just said, "Okay, you're gonna go into the corner. Your his exact words are your right ass cheek's gonna drop," and he says you're locked in. And I think I did that at 45 mile an hour.
Yeah. How fast did it seem like you were going?
Oh, 140.
Yeah.
Right. It feels like you're doing double than what you think.
Yeah.
But that was commonplace back then. Like, a lot of you guys would switch cars.
Right.
At some point during the year back in the 90s.
They just when they got rid of Steve Kinzer, they quit making sprint cars for guys like me.
And that is so true.
Now they all come out in their rails.
Yeah, right. See, I heard you ask, where's my trophy? Couldn't send the actual video of him out there too long. It was pretty awesome. That sounds like it would have been a great way to wrap up a year or two there at Devil's Lake.
Well, funny thing is, he did get his trophy.
Oh, did ya?
Yeah.
You
got
didn't
his
bring it
trophy.
with?
You know,
I didn't bring it with. Well, I already felt bad that I was crashing the show today. I couldn't bring the trophy
Still
with too.
sleeping
That
with
would have
it.
been bad.
Still sleeping with it. It's still
next to
tucked
him.
in nicely.
Yeah.
I would think you could
That's
start.
his nightlight.
You could start on the trophy room now. There you go. Where's my trophy shelf?
That's
And
awesome.
That is cool.
It's
That is
never
cool.
more than 5 feet away from me. Thank you, Travis.
There
and
you
Jade.
go.
yeah,
So,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
2025. Anything in your wish list that we can look forward to?
No, just to shore some things up. We can't sit on our hands because you can't ever be complacent. I mean, you gotta give everybody something different to look forward to. There's some things on the horizon we may add, may subtract. All in all, though, I think it's going to be better for the sport and the
Sure.
people.
Actually, when you have people talking about late shows, things like that, this wasn't that bad of a year, really, compared to years prior. I mean, this wasn't so bad. The Thursday of the sites went a little long, but otherwise, it wasn't that bad of a year.
Well, and you look at you got the fair races in. I've been doing 5 years. I don't remember, but I don't think we've ever got all 3 races of the fair in before. Every time Midco would show up and they'd put their stuff up and then they'd end up taking it down.
That was like, yep.
So it's like that one year Dobmeyer got hurt and then he was going to be the guest announcer on Midco stuff and he never got to do it because we rained out both times.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I forgot
So-
when he came up there.
Yeah. So I mean, there's
well, literally this year we had a ton of makeup races to do, but we only lost 2 races.
yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We got last week's makeup in finally,
Sure.
but we got all our makeups in and only lost 2 scheduled shows.
But what was
So,
what was crazy is that makeup race was all the way back from
Yeah,
June.
from June, like
June
6th
June
or something.
14th. It was literally 3 months old.
Yeah.
So
You read that.
Yeah,
I
I forgot
agree with
about that. Dale says like doing a show on Tuesday, the week of the 4th.
That was awesome.
I thought that was a great idea.
We had an awesome crew. We had an awesome group of people out there. Good fan base that
Yep,
came out.
yep.
That was a beautiful decision on
You know
your
what?
guys'
And
part.
There's another couple other weekends in the week.
Yep.
Or long weekends that.
I mean,
that might be a theme.
if
Right.
it's, if it's a
we're going to
Well,
talk
we had
that over.
Oh man, that was awesome.
yeah, because if it's a typical calendar year, wouldn't it be like Wednesday next year?
No, it'll be
Or
Friday.
Friday. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Because this year was
I
Thursday.
can tell you already next year, the week of the 4th, it's not going to be Friday.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's all right.
We're going to look at Memorial Day and Labor Day. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Whether
Awesome.
we do anything,
Yeah.
you know what?
I think it's awesome the trial and error thing you're trying to work with every year because you're like you said you can't be complacent. How are you going to get more fans? Well, those weekends are tough.
They're lake people.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, right.
And they love their 4-day week. They'll even take Friday off of work to get a 4-day weekend at the lake. So that's amazing.
You know what? It'd be.
and I don't mean to butt in, but like that Tuesday worked out awesome. That Tuesday crowd on July 2nd was great.
Yes.
You know what?
So-
And quite honestly, it keeps us more on our toes too.
Yeah.
Because we cannot keep a Tuesday night crowd here
No,
till
no.
11 p.m.
Right.
It's tough.
That's
you
true.
You get one chance to make a first impression.
Yeah.
And it's everlasting.
Unless you're Kevin Pappenfuss. I don't like when the races get done too early. Don't have enough time to finish my beer. You need to drink faster, Kevin.
Go downstairs and buy more.
There you go. Brendan, all I know is about 11 p.m. last night, my phone started ringing. It's Steven texting me asking if I'm going to be around this weekend to do a video. Is he going to make it? Will he be there to vid?
Long story short, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no.
I tell you what. Oh, do we have a phone call?
Yeah. Actually, you may have to turn up the volume a little bit. I'm getting something ringing in. I just got to activate it. Here's a.
Oh, famous beer tower. Man, it's had a whole lot of ugly getting up there.
I thought my skinny butt got through that time, and it didn't. So wide load, you
That's
know.
why I go that way. Dale, a producer, put that together, by the way, and god damn, was that good. Holy. Yeah, okay, there's a couple of dry highlights left in here. I don't know what more to say. We've been promoting this all week as saying goodbye to one half of the Bullring Boys, Chad Hoff. Chad, it's family comes first. Your family, you're moving, you're going back home.
Yeah.
This is something that you knew was probably going to come someday.
Yeah.
You knew it. You actually told your place of employment that a few years back, that you planned on not being here forever. The time has come. It's the right time. It's an opportune time to get your family back, what you call home. And man, we're going to miss you.
Well,
I hate to even put the camera on you right now for some words, but we got to do it, man.
no, you're good. And everybody knows I'm a crier, so it's okay. Dale, what an awesome job.
Yeah, wasn't that awesome?
God, I can't thank you enough, buddy. That was holy.
Dude, that was so worth putting together. Dude, everything you've meant to the whole Speedway, the whole racing community here. I could have made that go on for way longer, but so many great memories, man.
Yeah. First and foremost, I want to thank my wife and my son for being awesome and doing this.
She's calling you a crybaby.
She knows.
I know.
She knows. She married it, so.
Yeah.
No, thank her. She's been awesome, and the support that gives me to do this stuff and to be there Friday nights and live out my dream of doing these things. And thanks to River Cities Speedway for, oh my God, I got to work at the best place in North Dakota. Honestly. I mean, there's no other racetrack I really want to go to. It's just this one did it. And the family has been amazing. The racing family's been amazing. I met Steven, Amanda Joe, you know, oh my gosh, Richard Barnes, Jenny Barnes. There's so many people. Blaine, holy crap. I mean, you? Yeah, I mean, to meet the people I met and do this, the thing I love has been phenomenal. And I want to thank all you guys. Friday's going to be tough.
Yeah. I still remember when Darren Evavold came up to me and said, hey, there's this guy, he's doing Devil's Lake. I think we should give him a shot. And I said, bring him in. Let's see what he's like. And it was a no-brainer for me after night number one. It's like, yeah, we need this guy.
And I was like,
And the
no,
rest
don't
is
try
history.
the Devil's Lake guy. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, that's a plug to Heather and Nolan. They're the ones that got me back out doing it. When we moved here from Minot, I was announcing at No Deck Speedway, Willista Basin Speedway, and kind of wanted to take a step back and sit. And
I don't mean to say with who.
yeah, with Larry McFall, the legend.
Sure, actually,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was kind of a mentor to you, wasn't he?
100% he was.
Yeah.
I mean, he helped me out. I've been doing the announcing gig for like 20 plus years, and it's just been a part-time gig for me. College basketball games, you know, semi-pro hockey games and stuff like that. So, and then when Larry took me under his wing and told me, you know, I talk too fast, I need to slow down and think before you say. And
Chad, you talk too fast.
Yeah.
You have to slow down a little bit.
Watch what you say. Make sure you don't make any pornographic, you know, comments towards it. Oh, he just touched him there or something. So Larry did a lot for me on that side of things. And then when I moved out here, I told Brittany, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna sit back and we're gonna relax and have some family fun. Well, it turned out I spent a lot more money because my weekends were hanging out at home, and then I was probably driving her crazy. So Nolan called me up and asked to fill in at Devil's Lake Speedway one time. I did a couple times that year, and then it turned out being full-time the following year. So they had me going there, and then when Darren called, I filled in up top in the press box there, and it's bus races. That's the one where you screamed your ass off.
Oh, yeah.
That's when you were put in the backseat of the bus and screaming. And
Well, if Marty Clavo would have put your 5-point harness in, you'd be screaming too.
100%. And then, so then that next following year, Darren called me again, and I met Darren because he was going around and selling advertisements for the Speedway. And I was obviously the manager at Northwest Tiger at the time, and I said, we definitely want to do something. It'd be stupid for us not to. And then we talked a little bit and talked about history and whatnot. And then he called me, and he's like, hey, we need somebody to fill in for us down in the infield, just a couple nights. You know, not a big deal, just a couple nights. If you could do that for us, it'd be great. And that was I thought it was just a quick thing.
Yeah.
You know?
And it seems like it was only 2 years ago.
Right. I didn't expect it to be, life-changing kind of. Because honestly, you met the people I met with. Man, oh, Jesus.
Here we go.
With the people and everything. Yeah, it's been awesome. I appreciate you guys.
Jared Olson says it's not goodbye. It's I'll see you later. Maybe name the bus race. Could be the Hoff Classic. That's got a great idea. Brittany says, I don't think he'll be gone long, folks.
Brittany's throwing a question mark out there. Like,
I think she's already sick of you just watching you on the TV
don't
here,
pack
bud.
all your bags.
Yeah, no, we've already been hinted at people at Southwest Speedway trying to get a hold of me, and I said, give me a little bit of a break. But yeah, you think all the past people that have helped me here. Steven's a big one. I mean, him and I are like brothers out there, and it's been awesome with him. We've been having a lot of fun, Todd, man, Brad and I yelling at each other when he is a late model and he's telling me to go interview somebody, and I'm yelling at him, telling him that you're talking about sponsors. There's so many memories we can go through, and I just appreciate all you guys. And John, thank you for having me on this ride, bud.
John Biergard, Chad, where does a person ever start with you? Your presence in this area and the race community, what a hello of an announcer, heart of gold. Not to mention Northwest Tires always hears the most amazing things about you and what you do for customers. Hats off to an incredible, incredible person. Thank you for everything you do and have done. And people ask, how do we fill the other half of the Bullring Boys' shoes? How do we fill Chad Hoff's shoes? You don't. But I'm going to try. All right, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to do this.
This is live.
We got all winter. We got all winter to do this.
Yeah.
Get a hold of me. Reach out to me. PM me. Do whatever you got to do. Just look for John Roberts.
Hey, how about send in a little demo?
Hey, that wouldn't be a bad idea either.
Yeah.
You could always email a little demo to us at local@gfbestsource.com. Shoot me a call. Shoot me whatever, and we'll work on getting you somewhere. But here's the deal, and we've talked about this. It might not even be somebody that you ever in the world would think would have a microphone in their hand.
Great.
I want somebody that, and again, it's not going to be you. It's not going to be your clone.
No.
But all of you fans out there that see what goes on, what the Bullring Boys do, what we have between them, that's what we're looking for. We want to do. I mean, nobody's going to have the dance moves Chad Hoff has. I can tell you that. But we could do our best. Flying Ryan, YT, we're going to miss you, Chad. Thanks for all you do. Wishing you the best. I vote Steven or Jory. Jory Berg, 110%. That might not work too good because Jory Berg's usually in victory lane.
Usually
anyway.
in victory lane. The only thing I can say is you guys get out there and I didn't know I was going to be an announcer 20 years ago. To get out there and do this and do it. Don't think of, like, you guys have been to the racetrack, and Jared, I appreciate your words 100%. You don't have to be the next Chad Hoff, just be the next best you.
Right, exactly.
I just want to say quick, like,
You don't want to say nothing.
but we're looking to replace Chad. Well, I showed up at Devil's Lake one night, and he was there, and I was like, oh, well, you're the new guy, right? And he just ended up being everywhere I was for a couple of years, and like, I grew up with, with Norm King and Pat Mooney.
Sure.
And I thought they were irreplaceable.
Yeah, right.
No one's replaceable, but like you got to find new people, and like we got Bob Hultgren up top. We had you down in the infield. You moved up top, and then here came this guy.
Yep.
And for 7, 8 years,
Yeah.
he was up top with me in Devil's Lake, and down in the infield with me in River Cities. And
All right.
I'm gonna miss you so much, dude.
Thanks, big guy.
So
Brad and I are doing our best not
Yeah.
to join you guys. Let me see here. Hey, Bullring Boys and everyone from our Canadian friends. Everyone, Chad just got the show. Have to watch later. Always good to see you at the track. Canadians, along with the others, will miss you. Always a great job at the track, on the show, too. Cheers. Tommy Hoffland, good replacement. Oh, boy, I don't know about that. Brandon Grover, I actually don't think I would have had the guts to actually announce it if it hadn't been for Chad. If he wouldn't have dared announce if it wouldn't have been for Chad. Dale was in the same boat, too, way out of his wheelhouse. But, man, he's come along so good. And that's just it. It's you got to find your comfort zone and all that. And for the people that are calling me and texting me on my phone, if you didn't hear, Chad, he took a job back closer to home.
Yep.
You're from the very eastern part of Montana,
Yeah,
right?
from Glendive, Montana.
Glendive,
Yep.
okay. And you got a job offer in
Dickinson.
Dickinson, which is what, half hour? 40
It's about
minutes?
an hour, 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
it's actually, if you look at a little history here, I started with Northwest Tire 18 years ago, right at this location. And I've moved across the state of North Dakota with Northwest Tire.
Yep.
So Northwest Tire came to me, and I told them when I moved here, like you said, I can't be this far away from family. I didn't expect to get as comfortable as I was here. Can't get away from family that long. Well, then they came at me and said, "Hey, we got a job opening for you. It's at our Dickinson Truck and Farm location." And I was like, "Yeah, okay. Let me go talk to my family because Parker's 11." And obviously, I had to make sure my wife, because when we moved here, she didn't get an option. I'm taking her in a circle. Yeah. Brittany didn't get an option to move here. It was just, I went home one night and I said, we're moving to Grand Forks. And so she's been an awesome ride with it. And Northwest Tire has been amazing. And they're going to move me back to where I started.
And now you're leaving and I need new tires again. Anyway, is Nick Hoff a relative? Tommy Corcoran wants to know if Nick Hoff is a relative.
No, I don't know a Nick Hoff.
Okay.
So
okay.
there's a lot of Hoffs up in Oslo area that we're not related to. So.
Can I tell a quick joke?
Yeah.
Do you know a Jack?
No, I don't know a Jack.
Come on.
But Brittany wanted to name Parker that. But yeah.
I'm not kidding you.
Sorry, I had to.
My principal in junior high school, that was his name.
Jack off.
Yeah. I also knew a guy named, his last name was Dick. And his first name was Harriet. But what do you think they called him? Okay.
Harry Dick.
Oh, he's in Sydney. Oh, I got friends in Sydney. The Montana boys that come up here.
Yeah, we met
for
those
fishing.
guys. Yeah, the Montana boys in Sydney.
Oh,
that'd
boy.
be close, but no, I don't know a Nick Hoff in Sydney. We're from, we're actually, my
Sydney
family's
and Glendive are pretty
like 45 minutes.
separate.
Yeah.
Cinnamon's Last Dance Saturday night, 9 p.m. main stage. That's according to Jory Berg.
Jory gave me that one rain delay, John Sykes Memorial. I was driving around and filling in the rain delay, and we grabbed Jory, and Jory just started calling me Cinnamon. That was when I first started. So, yeah, thank everybody. John, thanks for doing this. Dale, amazing. Brad, thank you, and all the owners of River Cities Speedway.
On behalf of River Cities, Chad, it takes a good village to make a city,
Yeah.
And you've again, every year you gotta make things more interesting and whatever, and whether you know this or not, but just you're running around doing your antics and throwing a mic in someone's mouth, and you know what? It's not so much about the people in the grandstands. We have video on it, So now you're interacting with how many viewers we have on a Friday night, and that's when they feel part of it. I remember when we went in the minivan and we were racing with the buses.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love that.
And pretty soon I was like, Chad, we got to get off. They're coming. They're coming fast.
It's funny how it starts out with a Brad Seng idea, isn't it?
Well,
I got an idea.
Just a quick back, and he told me that, and we got on the racetrack and we're driving around, and usually in a passenger seat, you're not very comfortable. I was so comfortable in that, and he was just right on the tail, and we were everywhere, and I was just having the ball. And then when he looked behind us, and then he looked at me, he goes, "We got to get off. They're coming." And I was like, "Oh, come on!" We were totally competing, and to have Brad do that, it's just another memory that's engulfed. You're not going to miss that.
Stephen Ader says, "Hey guys, Nick Hoff is an engine builder, I believe."
Okay.
I just want to let you guys know too. Chad and I, we didn't make up the Bullring Boys name.
No.
It was kind of.
Came from Darren.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think we kind of deserved it or earned the name. I don't know. But it stuck.
Well, Brad said it right too. We got to invent new things every year, and to have become the Bullring Boys is we're leading of a circus. Honestly,
I mean,
absolutely.
When I've got to believe on Friday nights when there's people viewing the races, like you got to talk to them also.
Sure.
Right. I
Yep,
mean,
100%.
so it's not only the people that are in the grandstands, it's the people that are virtual.
Yeah, and you got to hope some of these people are thinking to themselves as they're sitting at the front of their television going, "Damn, I'd really like to meet these guys one day. I think it'd be pretty cool to go hang out with them."
You have one that Aaron Restad, he used to be a racer up here, down here, and he tunes in every Friday night, and he loves listening to us. And what race fans don't know here is that the reason why we talk all the time is because we don't have another 100 people watching. There's thousands of people
Right,
watching FYE Network that night.
Sure.
And we're putting on a show for them as well. So one thing that's going to go crazy, and Nick Curtis has really got to start doing this. He's got to fill it in for me. We got to make sure to keep that fist bump going down in the infield for everybody. Because I go everywhere. You know, my biggest thing every race night is everybody, even the paramedics, get a fist bump for a safe night. And then when the treaters come in there, they get every one of them for heats get a fist bump, and I thank them for coming because without them we wouldn't have a show.
Absolutely.
Johnson's Memorial, every race car driver that came into the infield got a fist bump, and it's just a gratitude
B-Mod,
thing.
A-Mod, Super,
Everybody,
all of them.
I walked up and down everybody, and it's on behalf of all of us for thanking and making this show so great. So you got to keep that up and keep going because that's something I just don't want to die.
Well, not only that, so if I can butt in once more, but like you guys have been doing the show almost 5 years now. How many of the people that we've lost that you've interviewed, and we can go back and watch them?
Yeah.
Julie,
Yeah.
Jeff, Donnie,
Yeah.
Rick Eshelman, and we can go back
Wow.
and we can have moments with them,
Yep.
right? And you two did that for us, you know.
Good point, Steven.
Now he's gonna make me. Damn it. Stevenator, by the way, says Brad keeps calling me the Raininator. I'm not the Raininator. He's not the Raininator. This is sad enough show for you today.
Yeah, what the year end? I guess
I
we don't get
know.
to see each other anymore.
We still get to race tomorrow night, right?
Yeah,
Like,
oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah.
Casey has not washed his hands since that fist bump from Chad like that. Now here's the deal. I'm going to go, and I
COVID.
can't remember if I mentioned this. If I mentioned this at the beginning of the show. A lot of people are burned out. They're done. They're ready for it to be over. For some reason, I'm not this year. Usually after the sites, I'm like, dude, because I usually go right from the sites right to go-karts, and it turns out to be a long 4 days or whatever. It didn't work out quite that way this year. I'm not burned out. I'm not tired. It's always been that first Friday without racing. It's like, wow, is this nice? By the next Friday, when it's 80 degrees, I'm going, damn, we should still be racing. We should still be racing. But then again, we've gone through all the factors and the ifs, ands, or buts, and it just doesn't work out.
Well, and
we're
you know
still one of the last team, or one of the last tracks to still be racing, really, around
well,
here.
and
So.
Brad put it right when he started out the show is that they have the human factor involved. Like how are you going to compete with high school sports?
Yeah, right.
You know, and so it's,
I mean, we already lose our track prep guy. You know,
Yeah,
because you can't, like your situation.
Yep.
Your kid's growing up, you're not going to miss his sports. You got to do it. You know?
Yeah. So that was gracious enough for the thank the River Cities Speedway again. Guys, let me do you coach Parker and do those things. And so, yeah, no, it's so cool to be part of this and to have my name stamped that I was here. It was pretty neat. Never going to forget it, but tell you what, tomorrow's going to be awesome. You guys need to come out and check this out.
I might even have to go down there and do some dancing with you. How's that?
So what are we going to call this next year? Bull Ring 2.0?
I don't know. I guess it depends on who we get. Yeah, that's wow.
I was just going to chime in one more thing, Chad. As like you said a little earlier, I find myself naturally doing it this year, especially at the races, just fist bumping everyone. I think it's a great thing to do, just a nice way to show respect and show love to all the race fans, the race community, and just a big thank you for everything, and John, for both of you guys showing me so much. I had no idea the first few times I was out there filling in and working with you guys at the races whenever you guys need me has been a blast and a treat. So I cannot thank you guys enough, and and nothing but the best for you, Chad.
Can I take it from him quick? Like, I've been out at Devils all year.
Yeah.
Dale has done an impeccable job all year. He does it at the kart track. He does it in the infield when he needs to, and he does it at Devils. He's, like I said earlier, like Norm, Pat, you, him, whatever. How do you replace anyone? You don't, but
You just remember him.
Yeah.
you bring in someone like him, and we're good to go.
And
So-
I also, my friend, I also wanted to thank you. If it wasn't for you and your wife, we wouldn't have Lewis. I love the dog. Actually, Chad and his wife were fostering the dog, and I got a heads up on it, and he goes, well, we're fostering it. So ran over to their house, and I got to spend a little bit of time with this dog before even applying to get him. And if it wasn't for you, I never would have done that. And that dog is remarkable. I absolutely love, one of the best dogs I've ever had. it's going to be tough without you, man.
Hey.
It really is.
You know, and tomorrow night, let's just have some fun with it. I have my wife's coming. My son's going to be there.
Are you gonna be the buses?
Mom and Dad. I don't want to. I can't say because if my mom's coming, she hates that. Like last year, she was crapping her pants because I was racing a bus. So I don't know if I'm gonna be in a bus or not. But we're gonna find out.
Bring her with.
Should I bring my family to crap more than yours? Or
Jeez. So
See, I told you, pucker factor,
yeah,
right?
every Olhoff members that'll be around tomorrow.
All right.
pucker.
Just so you know, Chad, River Cities Speedway, I look at as kind of like the Heisman House. You're in.
Look at that. All right,
You have a seat anytime you come back. Right next to whether you want to go, whatever you want to do, you'll have a mic in your hand. Whatever you want to come here.
Thanks, buddy.
Make sure the fam comes up to the booth tomorrow night in case I don't get a chance to see them. Absolutely. You got anything left? Because I want to get out of here.
Yeah, it's enough. Let's be done.
I want to get out of here.
You know what? Thank you to all the fans that supported River Cities Speedway this year. Thank you to every employee. I wish I knew you all by first name. I know faces. I'm not good at names. Thank you for showing up every Friday night, making this thing go round. Tommy, he's got some health issues. I hope he comes back next year, but he needs to take care of himself. Tommy, you know we love you.
Absolutely.
If this is indeed your last year, thank you.
Absolutely. Tommy Hofflin. And again, congratulations, Scotty and Diane are getting married on Saturday at River Cities Speedway.
I'll be
we
there.
will all be there. And you and I got some more talking to do. Do you know, I'm just going to bring it up to you right now. I just want to point this out. Know anything about that?
Let's see. No.
Congratulations.
Yeah, no. The 6 o'clock Chad, 6 o'clock Prairie Wood Drive.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I
Okay.
do know about that. Yeah.
And one more thing I want to say before we leave is NOSA. Are they done? Do they have a points champion yet?
This one's kind of NOSA. We're not gonna. I don't know if I can announce.
Okay, or do we have a track champion?
Yeah.
For sprints yet?
First of all, I'd like to. Our track champions at River City Speedway would be Dustin Stratton, the late models.
Yep.
Trey Hess in the street stocks, and
Austin Hunter.
Austin Hunter, yes.
in the B mod.
He only won by 1 point, didn't he?
1 point over Jamie.
Point
Yep.
over Jamie
Wow.
Dexter.
1 point.
Yeah, that is
And
crazy.
Jamie won the feature that last night, and Austin was right behind him. Like,
Wow.
it was.
I think
neck and neck the whole
NOSA's
time.
finishing night is tomorrow night.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you guys for all you guys do for River City Speedway. It puts us worldwide.
Yeah, I had you know how you have memories pop up on your Facebook page? Mine popped up the other day. It was the night of the last race last year, saying how much I loved working at River City Speedway, how much I loved all the employees, and I've got the greatest job, and I really do. Brad Seng with River City Speedway. Of course, Stephen Lewis. Watch for him tomorrow night in a wingless sprint. I am super stoked. And, of course, my bullring brother, the bullring boy here, Chad Hoff, going to be wrapping things up tomorrow night. So, folks, we want to see you at the racetrack tomorrow night. The school buses are going. And thank you to everybody for supporting us here at Dirty Thursday, including Rumor Sports Bar Casino, one of our sponsors of Dirty Thursday. Tell you what, Bill Tyrell, been with us since day one on Dirty Thursday. Oh.
You know what, John, one quick thing. A guy that just texted me on the side, John Bittner, listening in on the show, mentor,
Yeah.
hell of a guy. John, thinking of you, love you, take care.
There you go. All right. Show's over. Retired of Rumors. Thank you, Tommy Corcoran. Speaking of Rumors, again, if you want to go watch UND Fighting Hawks football team, who now is ranked number 9 and 10 in the country, Rumors will have a bus there, as they do to all big UND home sporting events. Stop by Rumors. You know what you can do? You get $1.50 taco or 5. Jump on the bus, go watch UND Fighting Hawks, and then come back and have a great time. They're open every day from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Mondays, DJ Trivia Nights. They've got great lunch and dinner specials with that $7 express lunch. We love Rumor Sports Bar and Casino. And again, thank you to all of our sponsors. Oh, boy. We'll see you tomorrow, all right? We're going to tip a couple here. Have a great day. And remember to like, share, tag, and follow us. Hit that notification bell on your smartphone. You never miss a show that way. You know, the Forks are great. Grand Forks' best source. Well, we're giving the Forks their identity again.